Sanders campaign racking up a decisive victory. Now, looking ahead.
We're going to win the Democratic primary in Texas.
Other candidates not giving up the fight.
We're going to take this back.
I can feel the momentum.
The critical stretch to come as the fight for the nomination intensifies.
Coronavirus travel alert. The State Department issuing advisories for people visiting Japan and South Korea, what they need to know. A new surge in cases as we get a close-up look at a city turned into a ghost town.
Daring rescues, officers in a race against time.
Police! Come down! Come down! Come down now!
Rushing into this burning building.
This way! This way!
The dramatic moments to save lives, all caught on camera.
Found alive. The couple missing in the wilderness for a week airlifted to safety.
How do 70-year-old plus people survive in the middle of a mountainside where it's cold?
Where they were located as we speak to members of their family, only on GMA.
And hockey hero, the Zamboni driver, turned into an emergency goalie when the bench is bare. The coach fearing the worst, but this player proving his worth on the ice baby.
Live from ABC News in New York, this is Good Morning America.
Read it.
Can we have you say that again?
That was
wow.
Yeah.
That was special.
Vanilla Ice making it into the national news this morning.
That's right. We'll get more on that a little bit later in the show.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, good morning, everybody. Thanks for joining us on this Sunday. We begin with Bernie's big win. Senator Bernie Sanders taking the Nevada Democratic caucus by a landslide.
The candidate thanking supporters during a rally in Texas, now claiming victory in 3 states. With 50% of the precincts reporting Sanders has 47% of the vote in the Silver State. He's followed by Joe Biden at 19%, Pete Buttigieg at 15%, Elizabeth Warren at 10%, and Amy Klobuchar at 5%. Sanders also racking up the total estimated delegate count so far, 10 points ahead of his closest opponent.
So events are now going to start unfolding very quickly in this race. We're 6 days out from South Carolina, 9 days from Super Tuesday. The question is Bernie unstoppable at this point? George is standing by with analysis, but we start here with ABC's Rachel Scott, who's in Las Vegas. Rachel, good morning to you.
Dan, good morning. Senator Bernie Sanders has now won the popular vote in the first 3 contests, and he is heading into the next phase of this primary with the most delegates and the momentum.
Overnight, Senator Bernie Sanders clinching another victory with a decisive win in the Nevada caucuses and already focusing in on the next early voting states.
Don't tell anybody. I don't want to get them nervous. We're going to win the Democratic primary in Texas.
Entrance polls show Sanders as the top pick for the majority of Hispanic and young Democrats in Nevada. Latino voters, expected to be the largest minority group in 2020, will play a major role in the Democratic primary.
In Nevada, we have just put together a multi-generational, multi-racial coalition, which is going to not only win in Nevada, it's going to sweep this country.
But with the momentum, a wave of criticism from his more moderate rivals.
Senator Sanders believes in an inflexible, ideological revolution that leaves out most Democrats, not to mention most Americans.
Former Vice President Joe Biden, who was betting on this state for a comeback, finished in a distant second, telling his supporters he's now back on track.
You all did it for me. Now we're going on to South Carolina and win, and then we're going to take this back.
With the South Carolina primary now just 6 days away, the fight for the nomination intensifies.
Not only is South Carolina an important state and where we're going to have the next debate, but from there we go to Super Tuesday.
We have a lot of states to go, and right now I can feel the momentum. So let's stay in this fight.
We are now entering a critical stretch in this primary. In the next 10 days, there will be 2 more contests. First, the South Carolina primary, and then Super Tuesday, where more than 1,300 delegates will be up for grabs. Dan?
Rachel Scott in Nevada covering this every step of the way. We really appreciate it. As promised, let's bring in our chief anchor, George Stephanopoulos, who will be hosting this week later this morning. George, good morning to you.
Good morning.
I'll ask you the question I posed at the top of the show. Is Bernie unstoppable right now?
Maybe not unstoppable, but clearly in control of this race right now. Look, if you look at it right now, he's the only candidate in position to get a majority of delegates on the first ballot in the convention. That's not super likely right now, but he's the only one really who can do it. He's clearly got the best chance to go into the convention with a plurality. So all of the other candidates are really fighting now to see if they could start to build up momentum, start to build up delegates, and prevail in a brokered convention.
Among moderate Democrats, there's all this gnashing of teeth and rending of garments about whether Bernie can actually win in a general election against Trump. Are those concerns valid?
Sure, it's a big test right now because Bernie's right now, if you look at the label of democratic socialism, socialist, polling shows that Americans will push back against that. We also know that President Trump is going to do everything he can to pound that home day after day after day. We're hearing, we saw it at the State of the Union. We're seeing it at all of his rally speeches. Now, what Sanders and his team will say is that they can bring new voters into the fold that will overwhelm that concern, but it's a big, big question mark.
Let's talk about some of the folks who came in behind Sanders last night. Joe Biden, pretty far behind, but a reasonably solid showing at second. He's now got a big hurdle to clear in South Carolina. What's the path forward for him?
He's got to win South Carolina. There's no question about that. He's been banking his whole campaign on that all along. If he doesn't win South Carolina, he really doesn't have a path forward to the nomination. On the other hand, if he does win in South Carolina, prevail next week, that will give him some momentum going into Super Tuesday. And I think then the question will be, if Biden wins South Carolina, do you see some of the other moderates in the race, Amy Klobuchar, Pete Buttigieg, start to back away and set up a one-on-one contest with Bernie Sanders? The X factor there, of course, is Mike Bloomberg. I guess I'm anticipating your next question right there, and that's a bigger X factor.
So, I mean, speaking of that as an X factor, is he likely, Bloomberg, now likely to turn his massive fortune against Bernie Sanders and start running negative ads?
I don't know the answer to that. Big debate is coming up on Tuesday night. He's clearly going to have to do better than he did in last week's debate. I would imagine that he is going to take on Bernie Sanders directly, try to go on offense. Now, if he does, and if he does have something of a recovery in the debate on Tuesday, he's got the bankroll for Super Tuesday. He could also start to build up delegates as well and create more of a possibility of a brokered convention.
George Stephanopoulos, always great to get your analysis. Really appreciate it. I want to remind everybody George has a big show this morning. He's going to go one-on-one with Representative James Clyburn and Trump's National Security Advisor, Robert O'Brien, plus the Powerhouse Roundtable debating last night's Nevada caucus results. That's all coming up on This Week later this morning, right here on ABC. George, thanks again. Appreciate it. Eva, over to you.
Well, in other news now, the growing threat of coronavirus. More than 77,000 cases are reported globally, with more than 2,400 deaths at last report. U.S. officials are talking about how effectively they can contain the virus here as the State Department raises the travel advisory levels for Japan and South Korea. That's where Ian Pannell joins us. Ian, another uptick in cases there.
Yeah, that's right, Eva. And South Korea's president has just put the country on code red. That's its highest alert for infectious diseases, saying officials should take, quote, unprecedented, powerful steps to fight a major outbreak of COVID-19 in the country that just continues to spread.
This morning, COVID-19 cases surging in South Korea. The government here confirming more than 150 new cases, nearly half of the total infections linked to a single church group.
I think people are taking this virus quite seriously and trying to stay in and stay away from large groups.
Americans William Wickham and Isaiah Addison, both teaching English in South Korea. They showed ABC News the city of Daegu, where nearly half of confirmed infections have been found.
Normally these streets are very full, very packed with people, but the government's kind of advised people to stay inside to wear masks.
At this bus terminal in Seoul, travellers are scanned with a heat detection camera. But as the fear of a possible pandemic grows, so is misinformation and disinformation. New reports of unfounded conspiracy theories are apparently being spread via Russian-linked social media accounts, with false claims that the United States is behind the outbreak. Moscow denies any hand in it. And in America, one court is now temporarily blocking the US government from sending 50 people infected with COVID-19 to a quarantine facility in California. A hearing is scheduled Monday. So people are now doing everything they can to try and protect themselves. Of course, everyone's wearing face masks, they're washing their hands repeatedly. But when you go into a restaurant or a shopping mall, people are also having their temperature taken. And I want to show you this, if I can. This is an app that's been developed that shows you where every single person in the country who's got COVID-19 has been, allowing you to try and avoid those areas. But that is becoming increasingly difficult. Whit?
Still a major concern ahead. Ian, panel for us, thank you. We are getting reports of a serious earthquake this morning in Iran near its border with Turkey. Iran's news agency saying the quake impacted 43 villages in the mountainous region there. Turkey's interior minister says the quake measured 5.7 and killed several people on Turkey's side of the border. Last month, the quake centered in eastern Turkey killed more than 40 people.
Now, the latest on Lori Vallow, the mother in Hawaii facing charges in the disappearance of her 2 children. This morning, we're getting a glimpse of the last time one of her kids is believed to have been seen. And ABC's Marcus Moore has the very latest from Kauai this morning. Marcus, good morning to you.
Dan, good morning. Overnight, we got a look at newly released surveillance video that could be the last image of 7-year-old J.J. Vallow before his disappearance. The surveillance image obtained by East Idaho News apparently shows J.J. playing in the front yard of his home just weeks before he and his 17-year-old sister, Tylee Ryan, went missing. According to court documents, this image taken on September 17th helps piece together a timeline, part of the timeline of his last known whereabouts. 1 week later, Lori Vallow, the boy's mother, withdrew him from school, saying that she would homeschool her children. And police conducted a welfare check on November 26th. And according to authorities, that is when Lori said JJ was staying with a friend in Arizona. And when authorities contacted that friend, according to an affidavit, JJ was not with her. Lori and her husband, Chad Daybell, took off from Idaho just 1 day after the police visit. That couple resurfacing here in Hawaii, where Lori was taken into custody and faces multiple charges, including 2 felony counts of desertion and non-support of a dependent child. And this morning, that mother is inside of a prison facility here on $5 million bail, fighting extradition. Eva.
All right, Marcus Moore for us. Now to an incredible rescue caught on camera. Officers rush into a burning building and risk their own lives to save others. Stephanie Ramos is here with more about how this all played out. Stephanie, what heroic rescues.
Absolutely. The video is just incredible. You can see the flames whipping back and forth, smoke billowing, and those police officers in that small town north of Philly running in to rescue those inside.
Advise the fire department. We got a heavy volume of fire coming from the second floor of the building. Fire showing.
This morning, police officers are being hailed heroes after rushing into this massive fire engulfing an apartment complex just north of Philadelphia.
Yeah, people jumping from the third floor. People are also throwing things off the balcony.
This newly released body cam video shows the dramatic moments as officers arrive on scene last month.
Third floor back.
Officers sprinting into the building, fighting heavy smoke.
Hello, police! Police! Okay.
Come down!
Come down! Come down now!
Officers pushing through the smoke to help people inside escape.
Get out! Come on! Crawl forward! Crawl forward! There might be more. Come on.
We went in and we started checking, calling out to people, trying to, hopefully they heard our voice.
A community thankful for their quick thinking actions.
We obviously work well as a team. Nobody was hurt.
It's just another day for me, I guess.
Just another day. That fire tore through the apartment building. Police say 14 people were hurt, including 5 police officers. But as you see, they're back at work.
And that body camera video now gives us such
incredible.
insight into the heroism that they face every day.
Absolutely.
Amazing.
They displayed so much courage.
Their job is to
Amazing.
risk their lives in defense of ours, so we appreciate it.
Thank you, Stephanie. Other news that we're following this morning to that big memorial for Kobe Bryant tomorrow. Preparations are underway as the community in Los Angeles prepares to mourn the superstar and his daughter killed in a helicopter crash. Marcy Gonzalez is outside Staples Center where the event will be held. Marcy, good morning to you.
Good morning. And that crash was 4 weeks ago today. And now in just more than 24 hours, more than 20,000 people will gather here to pay tribute to Bryant and his daughter, Gianna. Her mother and Kobe's widow, Vanessa Bryant, put so much thought into making sure every detail of this service has special meaning. It's, of course, being held here at the Staples Center, known affectionately as the house that Kobe built, where he spent his entire 20-year NBA career with the Lakers. And then, of course, there is so much symbolism being put around the icon's number 24, as well as Gianna's jersey number 2. The ticket prices for this public memorial range from $24.02 to $224, with all of the proceeds going to the nonprofit that Kobe created, the Mamba and Mambacita Sports Foundation. And then the date of this service, February 24th, 2/24, carrying that significance as well, Whit.
And Marcy, officials in LA are issuing a request to fans who want to attend.
That's right. They're telling the people who weren't among those to get the 20,000 tickets to stay away from this area. This is all going to be blocked off. It won't be shown on the monitors here. So they're encouraging everyone to watch the live stream of the service, which you can see on ABC News Live. Whit.
All right, Marcy Gonzalez for us in Los Angeles. Thank you. Dan?
Time now for the weather. Let's get it over to Robert. What's going on?
Congratulations, Dan. Red Sox beat the Rays yesterday.
With baseball games?
Yeah.
Is this the season for that?
Yeah, it means nothing. Don't worry. It's spring training. But
you're confusing him, Rob.
Don't confuse him.
But that was in Florida. The games in Arizona had some issues yesterday with the storm that rolled through there. And there were a number of games that were canceled or postponed. This is the Giants-Dodgers game that was managed to go on, but the Royals-Angels got canceled. And then the Diamondbacks practice, that was canceled completely too. So they'll dry out a little bit today, and they'll get back to the sunshine that Arizona is so famous for, and that Grapefruit League. All right, this low we're dealing with, that's going to exit. That'll bring heavy snow south of Denver today. The northern low will eventually catch up with it, and that's going to create a complex weather system. But by Monday, tomorrow, we're looking at rains in areas they really don't need it, from Little Rock to Nashville to Georgia, even through the Ohio River Valley. Tuesday, getting some snow wrapping around the backside of this. Could see a significant snow in points from Chicago northward. We'll see how that times out as we go through the rest of the week, but more in the way of rainfall across the south. And today, in the next 2 days across the Northeast, look really nice and warm. So enjoy the spring-like temps. It's time now for a look at your local forecast. Here you go.
And a very good morning, meteorologist Brian Vandergraff. Cool start out there this morning. Teens in the burbs, 20s, a little bit closer inside the Beltway. Mid-50s for highs today. Should be a gorgeous day with lots of sunshine. Get out and enjoy. In fact, not just today, but mild weather into the early portion of the week. But it does come with some rain. Late Monday, some showers move in here overnight, and then off and on some showers Tuesday, and once again on Wednesday. Cooler weather, though, moving in for the latter half of the week. All in all, a pretty mild end of February.
The Red Sox play in Fort Myers. That's my portion of the sports report. Janae.
I'm up next. I'm on deck. And Tyson Fury won last night.
Right, Tyson with a big fight last night.
That was. And Dan, you were thrilled by all of this, right?
Tennis is awesome.
Yeah. Speaking of sports, we go now to an unexpected hockey hero. This is a great story. Janae has a story for
This
us.
absolutely is an incredible story. So when a team needs to call in a backup, you'd think that they have so many options, never considering that for one hockey team, the go-to would be a Zamboni driver.
The goaltender's down.
The Carolina Hurricanes are in the middle of a high-stakes playoff race, but when not one, but two of their goalies got injured, the team needed to call in some backup from quite an unlikely place. 42-year-old David Ayers, the emergency goalie, is usually on the ice, but as a Zamboni driver for a minor league team. Now, with no other options, the Hurricanes called him up, checking him into his very first first NHL match. Not many people, including, it seems, the Hurricanes head coach, had high expectations. But after giving up 2 goals, Ayers delivered a performance that won't be soon forgotten.
Just maybe settle in a little bit.
Stopping 8 of 10 goals, holding his own against the NHL's most powerful offense.
Faces a shot.
Winning the game and the hearts of the fans.
Oh, man, look at that reaction.
And his new teammates showering him in celebration.
These guys were awesome. And actually, the spot that settled me down, one of the guys said to me, just have fun. We don't care if you let 10 goals in.
Ayers making history, becoming the oldest goaltender to win their National Hockey League debut. And not only that, but Ayers is also a kidney transplant survivor. And overnight, the Hurricanes announced via Twitter they're working to identify a kidney foundation to receive a portion